Hey, this is Ronnie LeBlanc from Expedition Bigfoot, and you're listening to the Paranormally Zone.
Hey there, paranormal ponderers. This is the Paranormally Zone, your place for all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious. And yes, it is time for the last call. My name is Patrick Hoffenberg, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, Mr. Michael Carbino. Mike, are you ready?
No, not for this. I am not ready.
Are you ready to dive into a little cryptid known, not literally dive, hopefully not literally, the dive into some deep discussion before coming to our conclusion? It's time for yay or nay, no shades of gray. Are you ready for some BATSQUATCH, Mike? BATSQUATCH, baby.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I don't know. It might be a lot more like bat squat.
Well, oh, good.
But
good Lord. Where the hell's my lame sound effects for that one? Back squat. Oh, well, Mike's computer, Mike, you find that funny, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm working at it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, this
Good.
is fascinating.
Awesome. Yeah,
Very fascinating.
when we wrap up this episode, when we wrap up this version of the last call, we are going to come to either conclusion A
Yay.
or conclusion B. So if you can't figure that out, that is yay or nay, no shades of gray. Mike, you confessed a wee bit of ignorance.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before. And I
BATSQUATCH before
out of all the
recording.
cryptids that we've went over and lists that we've gone over, and then I don't ever remember seeing this.
And you are very capable of making a yay or nay, no shades of gray decision based upon what little knowledge you have garnered doing research for this episode.
Well, and then we'll discuss it, and we'll go
true.
from there too. So
we have been known to kind of sway each other's opinions during our discussions, during our bantering back and forth here. So
absolutely,
yeah, this is as I said, this is time for the last call. It's quickly proving to be a popular segment of the Paranormally Zone podcast. I'm looking forward to this one, Mike. So, Mike, talk to me a little bit about your knowledge of the supposed BATSQUATCH. And for those out there who are going, what the hell? What in God's name is a flippin' BATSQUATCH? Well, you know what a bat is. You know, the flying rodents, bats that spent an entire summer terrifying me, but we won't go into that. And you know what a Sasquatch supposedly is. So put the two together, BATSQUATCH. What do you get? Some wacky, crazy cryptid. What do you got, Mike?
Well, you would think that it's like a Bigfoot with wings, but it does have its differences.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Like the description of it. I'm just going to read this real quick. It's the best way to get across what it looks like. Picture this. Get a mental image of this in your head.
Yep, I'm doing it right now. I'm sending
this
my image.
Creature was said to have yellow eyes, a dog-like muzzle, blue fur, sharp teeth.
What's a blue fur?
Bird-like. Yeah, blue fur, sharp teeth, bird-like feet, and leathery bat-like wings that span up to 50 feet.
Good Lord. Are you sure you've read the same stuff I've read?
In addition, BATSQUATCH is said to be 9 feet tall, and it has the ability to affect car engines.
Goodness gracious. That's pretty.
That's
pretty,
some pretty.
That's potent right there. My God. Now, is it
That's some pretty
like
crappy, fancy stuff.
Is it like a hairy flying mechanic where it's affecting people's car engines, or is it doing it like
I don't know
telepathically,
well,
or what's happening here?
If this thing, with its description, if it's flying over a car and it shits on it, that's gonna cause some damage.
Well, imagine how far he could fling that poo, that BATSQUATCH poo, with that 50-foot wingspan. You know, that covers a good radius.
As it's flying, it takes its claw-like hand and does a monkey grab on his ass and pulls out a piece of poop and throws it.
Hey, BSP, BATSQUATCH poo. Yeah, I love it. But not really. You know, and I will profess my ignorance, Mike. I'd never heard of it. Of all of my vast knowledge, my vast years of studying the BATSQUATCH, I have never heard of it being described as having blue fur.
Yeah, that's kind of weirded me out a little bit.
That is very odd. So is that more like plumage? Is it like feathers, or is it actual fur? That's kind of interesting.
Well, there's a picture of it here. It's got fur. It looks like fur. It looks like a werewolf kind of head.
Yeah. Well, you said like
it's got a hell of a six-pack.
It's a dog-like muzzle, so yeah, I can see the werewolf resemblance.
Claw-like hands and feet. Yeah. So this is more like a flying werewolf, I think, than a
blue one at that.
Than a Squatch. Yeah.
You know, when you said,
I think it's that one character from Monsters Inc.
Oh, sure, yeah. John Goodman voiced him.
Yeah, was it Mike or is that the other one that
I don't remember
that Billy Crystal did, or Sully?
I do not recall.
Was that his name? I don't know.
All I know is when you said blue fur, and I go, "What the hell's a blue fur?" It reminded me of a joke in the classic 1985 film "Spies Like Us," starring Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase.
I love that movie. I got to watch that again.
And at one point, when they're first dropped, unknowingly on their own mission, on their first mission, and they're standing in the woods and they're about to be surrounded by all these warriors who are going to attack them in various different ways. They're like ninjas almost. But anyways, before the ninjas appear, they hear these odd animal noises. And Chevy Chase goes, "What's that?" And Dan Aykroyd goes, "Yeah, it's a dick fur." And Chevy goes, "What's a dick fur?" "To pee with." Anyways.
I remember when they came out of those woods and they had all those lights on and like they're aliens. And if I remember right, it's been so many years since I've seen it. But was it Dan Aykroyd going? Nyang, 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 nyang.
They're making wonderful
noises.
Yep, it's classic.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Classic stupidity. It's good stuff. Good stuff. But anyways, back to BATSQUATCH, Mike.
Yeah.
Various stories. The ones that I am most familiar with are, believe it or not, alleged to have occurred within my next door neighbor here, state-wise in Wisconsin.
Right, that's right.
That's kind of too close for comfort for me. If this thing is real, that's kind of terrifying. And eyewitnesses, they swear on the proverbial swear on their parents' grave type thing. It's they saw what they saw. They know what they saw, and it's. I'm not one to sit there and look someone in the face who's terrified and sincere and say, "I saw this," and say, "No, you didn't."
Yeah, you're not going to call him a liar.
No, it's.
But if you're out grilling in your yard and you got your dogs out there and then.
What happened there? You got voices speaking to you.
First alert, a thunderstorm warning has been issued. Wow, cool.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Anyway, you're grilling and then some wolf squatchy bat-like thing comes and dips down and takes your chicken off the grill.
It's like, damn it.
In one claw and then Vigo in the other and flies off.
No, not Vigo, not Posse, not Macy, not Mary, not anybody, okay? It's not going to be carrying anyone off. No one is going to be taking.
Or how about your cooler full of beer?
I'm drawing the line there. You can take the. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. Then you got a drunk BATSQUATCH and he's peeing all over the
I
place
know.
as you're flying over the houses.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Nothing is worse than an inebriated
Yep.
BATSQUATCH, man. It's one thing when they're sober, but when they're drunk, they're really hard to handle.
I could imagine.
It sounds like we're being flippant and joking about this.
We
but,
are.
But
Well,
people,
it's such a crazy thing.
But people claim to have seen this, Mike.
Yes. And in other places too. I mean,
Tacoma, Washington, for God's sakes. I mean,
yes,
it's all over the
a lot
place.
in Washington and Oregon. Seen near Mount St. Helens in the 1980s. There it talks about it's resembling a flying primate, similar to the ahul and the orang bati of Southeast Asia.
And that's not the first alleged cryptid sighting at Mount St. Helens, by the way, Mike. I mean, there are infamous stories,
Right,
about like
and UFO sightings,
like a family of Sasquatch. I mean, all sorts of stuff that supposedly is going on in Mount St. Helens. Was it prior to it erupting or after it erupting? I do not recall.
Well, volcanoes have a source of things like that. I think that are.
What do you mean by a source of things like that?
UFOs and things like that.
Oh, are a source of. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I've seen video footage of volcanoes that have been erupting, and you'll see like a light, like a white light that's zipping around in there or whatever.
Sure.
In fact, and I'm gonna have to dig these pictures out, and I think I got them in my drawers here somewhere in my podcast desk. Some pictures that I've taken of the Philippines, and when I was there with the volcano going up, the Mount Pinatubo, that I thank God survived.
Yeah.
I have looked at these pictures that I have taken of the volcano erupting, and there are some where I have looked close with like my jeweler's loop that I have, because I collect certain stones and rocks and minerals anyway, and I have seen in some of these pictures a white light that, just like I've seen in these videos of a UFO that's zipping around.
Really?
I've actually caught one on one of my photographs. I don't think I've ever told you that.
You have never told me that, and I am angry at you for never telling me that. And you have these pictures still?
Oh, sure I do. Yeah.
Where?
Like I said, I think in one of my drawers in my podcast desk.
That close?
Well, I'd have to dig. They're like, every one of my drawers here is like a junk drawer.
Oh, but I thought you were going to say like they're buried in your boxes in your basement type thing, you know?
Oh, no, they're closer than that.
My God, yes. Mike.
Along with some scantily dressed Filipino ladies.
Well, okay. Well, better.
No, they're wearing swimming suits.
Better them than you. I don't need to see that stuff. So, hey, Mike, can you do me a favor? Maybe can you dig those out when we're done recording, or before the weekend's over, or something like that?
I can do that before the weekend is over. I will.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I will do that.
That'd be great. I appreciate that. I want to see that.
But yeah, I've looked at him and I saw that and I was like, that's pretty interesting. But you know how I am with, I can see a ghost in my house, and then I can go ahead and eat another French fry and another bite of my hot dog after that happens, and watch
look at
TV.
That. A shadow person just walked past my kitchen door. Hey, pass the ketchup, will ya? It's like, come on, Mike. Meanwhile,
there's the ghost cat. Get me another Coke.
I'd be sitting there with my jaw on the floor and hyperventilating probably, and Mike's like, come on now, it's just a shadow person. No big deal. Oh, by the way, did I tell you I discovered another time portal in my house? Oh, really? Mike? Okay, sure.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to tell me a good story there.
No, I'm
you're just talking about me.
I'm talking about you. Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I have 2 hours of missing time today, but
yeah, that's right.
Whatever.
I know. Last thing I remember is speaking to someone with a large bulbous head. And it wasn't Patrick.
Listen, I don't want to talk to some guy with 2 bulbous heads.
No. You draw the line there. Now, I want to fly through a couple of these things as fast as I can, Mike.
Yes.
This is according to my
Let's
awesome.
Get back to the situation.
An awesome book in my cryptid alien ghost collection here. This one is American Monsters. I've mentioned this before.
Yes, awesome looking book.
History of monster lore, legends, and sightings in America, written by the awesome Linda Godfrey. And she has a chapter here devoted exclusively to BATSQUATCH. And it's about a 20-page chapter, damn near. I'm not going to torture all of you. by reading through it, but I do have to read a little bit to give you some details. This is one sighting that occurred in Wisconsin, okay? Goes as such. This took place on the evening of September 26, 2006. Not that long ago, 15 years or so. Took place around 9:30 p.m. in the evening and involved men who were driving home from a music rehearsal in the Mississippi River city of La Crosse. So it's La Crosse, Wisconsin. The son of the duo was at the wheel as their pickup truck drove along the hill of Briggs Road in the rural area between La Crosse and Holman. They were passing a private shooting range on their right when a great dark thing... Did you laugh when I said shooting range? Or did you cough?
No, I coughed a little bit.
Sorry. When on their right appeared a great dark thing that flew out of the dark black night, completely blotting out their windshield with its immense wings. As the men braced for a collision with this thing, the creature's appearance scared them even more than the prospect of actually crashing into it. The dark thing's bat-like wings unfurled to a span wider than the truck. The men estimated the wingspan to be between 10 and 12 feet and were attached to, here we get weird, a human-sized, furry, roughly bat-like body topped by a canine face, large, sharp fangs, pointed ears. The creature's extended arms and legs ended in a prominent claw or claws. The men could also clearly see its rib cage as it bore down on the truck.
Shortly thereafter, it threw a large handful of poop on the windshield.
There is a poop that goes again. And maybe it was blue, by the way, but it was dark and they couldn't tell. That's just one sighting. And it's interesting because the witness here who goes by the name Wohali, that's his Cherokee name, he says that it looked hungry.
Well, yeah. I have two short instances here of sightings.
I'm not finished.
Oh. God. I am not finished. Gee. Excuse the hell out of me.
I summoned my inner Ross Perot.
Yeah, there you go. Can I finish?
Sorry, everybody.
That was funny.
I had to do that.
Okay, go ahead. I am
because I have a couple things to point out here. He says his son swerved to avoid the creature, which then shot upward at the last second before impact and disappeared over some nearby trees. And it left, Mike, guess what? Emitting a piercing shriek, just like you said, describing me. And the witnesses both claimed to have immediate feelings of nausea to go along with their fear after seeing this. So that's interesting about the nausea. He claims that his son threw up 7 or 8 times, was gagging and sick all night after seeing that. Now, was that purely psychological because they were fearful of whatever it was that they saw, or was it something else?
It could be. It didn't say anything about it affecting the car's engine or the truck's engine.
I did not. No, not. It does not say anything about that.
Because I was wondering if that happened and there was some kind of a electromagnetic force that did that it emits, and that could have made somebody sick as well.
Okay, sure.
But could have been a bad case of nerves.
It says, questions here whether or not they were sickened by fear or by the sound of the shriek.
Sure. Sound wave.
The author points out that it says that certain sound wave ranges have been shown to cause physical illness in humans.
Like I just said.
Yeah. So perhaps the shriek, whatever they heard,
the right frequency,
actually physically turned their tummies upside down. So
yeah, well, I'm sure that could happen.
What do you have there, Mike? Now I'm finished now, so it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I won't.
I let you finish.
I will not shriek into our listeners' ears no more.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So these do go a little bit deeper into different details. The first one On April 1994, Brian Canfield was driving in Washington's Pierce County when his truck suddenly died. Canfield said a large creature landed in front of him. He said it was human-like, 9 feet tall, with black bat-like wings, and also sported a coat of blue fur.
There's the blue fur.
Ever since then, it has not been seen, and skeptics dismiss it as a hoax. It goes on to say a possible second sighting was reported in 2009 near Mount Shasta.
That's Mount Shasta.
That's another place that has just tons of paranormal activity.
That might be a podcast topic in itself, right there.
Oh, absolutely! That'd be fantastic. I would love that. Several hikers witnessed a huge creature with leathery wings. This is where it says spanning 50 feet.
Man,
that's ridiculous.
That's ginormous.
And it flew out of a crevice in the mountain. Must have been a big crevice.
Does that even qualify as a crevice anymore if it's bigger?
What's that flying out of your crevice?
I don't want to know, but go ahead.
At first, an eyewitness described the creature as having a head similar to a pterodactyl. So now that's, like a totally different creature.
Sure. Yeah. I get it, though.
However, upon reconsideration, the witness claimed it was more akin to a flying fox bat. Yeah, see, that's just too up and down and iffy and
that's the same witness who says it was over 50 feet in wingspan that they possibly it was possibly just an actual fox bat?
Well, I know fox bat can get very big. I saw a tree full of them in the Philippines, and they're monsters, but they are far from having a 50-foot wingspan.
Yeah.
But they're cute when they're babies.
But the thing is, that's fear tends to make you exaggerate.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
No, Mike, I'm ignorant here. When you say fox bat, I think of a fruit bat. Are they just one and the same?
No. Well, a flying fox, they're very, very large. Fruit bats, I think
fruit bats are huge.
They could be in the same thing.
Okay.
I might have to look that up and see if there's what kind of difference there might be. But
yeah.
There's one more here. On June 2011, Phoenix Tiraz, which is a pseudonym. Yeah, if you're going to change your name, change it to Phoenix Tiraz. Was in his yard walking his dog. He went to pick up the dog when he saw something in the sky. He said the following: I saw something flying in the sky. It had bat wings, blue fur, and had a face similar to eyes glowing red. It was about 9 feet tall at the least. After I watched it, just flew away. On April 14th, 2014, at Archbishop Hoban High School in Akron, Ohio, holy crap, a second period Spanish class spotted a giant black mass zip by the window of the classroom.
No kidding.
At incredible speed.
An entire class.
Yeah. The class claims it was about 9 feet tall with a 20 to 30 foot wingspan.
They're all very specific when it comes to 9 feet. Every one of those said 9 feet tall.
Yeah. Ever seen the movie Jeepers Creepers?
I have, actually, yes.
Oof.
Many years ago. Many years ago, but it is creepy. No pun intended there, but yeah. So, but sincerely, an entire classroom. What great age group was the class again? Does it say?
It was in a high school.
Okay.
And more importantly, it was a second period Spanish class.
Interesting. I don't know why that's more important, but okay.
No, that's I just threw that in there.
I'm intrigued by those specifics. Like I said, they were all. Yeah. I mean, every one of those had blue fur and 9 feet tall and an immense wingspan. So
yeah. Except one at first looked like a pterodactyl head.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's the only thing they could think of to describe it.
Right.
Yeah. That's another thing. People claim to still see living dinosaurs, including pterosaurs up there in the skies, Mike.
Absolutely. And why not? I don't poo-poo that.
No, absolutely not. Another witness here, the author just simply refers to him as Bill because he does not want to be identified. He claims in the same area here in La Crosse, Wisconsin. In the summer of 2005, so a year before the original sighting I shared, in June of 2005, Bill began to hear what sounded like a large animal traipsing around upon his rooftop at night. Now, this is in June, so it's not Santa's reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
People in the neighborhood also started to complain that their pets were disappearing. Bill himself lost 2 of his own animals within 1 week. Bill's friend Jim, who also does not want to be identified, who lived only a half a block away, one evening that summer, Jim said he had stepped out for a bedtime cigarette when something massive swooped into a tree in his backyard. That's kind of creepy if you think about it in itself. Did you see something just giant landing in your tree in your backyard?
Yeah.
The branches on
I don't like it.
The branches on the very large tree, according to Jim, shook wildly enough so that he knew it was something bigger than an owl or another normal nocturnal bird. Now, that's important to point out because that's the first thing that popped in my mind was, what was it, an owl? I mean, owls are massive.
Yeah, they can. They're like the great horned owl, but still not as big as what these things
are alleged to be. He says that the creature was hidden by thick foliage, and when Jim tried to approach it, the intruder or creature quickly flapped over to Jim's garage, where it then ran along the roof before then launching itself into the air and into the darkness. Wow.
And as it flew away into the darkness, it said, "Stay away, I'll scratch your eyes out."
It sure did. How'd you know that? That's exactly what he is written down here right now.
Anyway,
he says he never got a good look at it, so that's important to know as well. But he says he was extremely freaked out. And Bill, his buddy Bill, also observed the same strange shaking tree phenomenon when he began sitting down on his deck at night in attempts to actually see the creature. For a while, he noticed nothing except motion sensor lights switching on and off for no apparent reason, as well as unexplainable lights in the sky that would shoot in one direction or another and moves too fast and erratic to have been simply airplanes. And finally, one night, he was lucky enough to catch a glimpse of the actual tree shaker, and no, it wasn't his buddy Jim. He watched in disbelief from inside his house as a 5-foot tall creature, 5 feet tall now.
A juvenile.
With long hind legs slunk quietly out of a tree and climbed onto his children's playground set. Oh my God, that's creepy. Aye. He says the yard was too dark to make out details of the creature's appearance, but he said that it moved smoothly and naturally and that it, quote, seemed very sly. It kind of resembled the way Gollum appears in the Lord of the Rings movies, the movies based upon the Lord of the Rings books, obviously. It looked hairless, its eyes didn't glow, the hands and feet looked longer than normal, and its legs were longer than they should have been for a usual biped. Anyways, creepy stuff. This book is loaded with an awesome chapter on this supposed BATSQUATCH. I want everyone to go out there and buy American Monsters by Linda Godfrey. We're coming up on a half an hour already, Mike. We're having too much fun with this, but time is winding down. We're running out of time.
I know, up, down, and all around.
I need to stop yelling at you to let me finish, and so we can
Shut
finish.
the hell up. Shut it.
You got any other examples, Mike, or do we need to wrap it up for a yay or nay?
I have
shades
no
of gray?
more, but it's all very intriguing, that's for sure.
We gave you guys just a tiny little taste of what BATSQUATCH is supposedly all about. Again, sightings have taken place all over the country.
And then this last part that you were reading about where, how it comes out of the trees and appears and these bright lights in the sky. It could be like another dimensional being like the Sasquatch, like it's a cousin, a winged cousin of Sasquatch. It is actually multi-dimensional, and these lights in the sky could be connection between UFOs and this creature, as well as UFOs and Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, we hear the link between the two so often, Mike, between Bigfoot sightings and,
Hearing it more often.
Lights in the sky, man, and orbs, orbs darting in and about the woods. Well, Mike, it's that time, man. It's time for the last call, yay or nay, no shades of gray. Considering all of your vast knowledge of Bat Squatch and mine, what do you think, buddy? Do you think you can't straddle the fence. You got to say yay or nay. You can, place your argument for either. You can say why you may be straddling the fence, but in the end, you have to make a decision. What say you?
Well, considering that there are so many points of where these things have been seen, we don't know how credible the eyewitnesses were, but they seemed pretty sure of what they had seen. We do have the classroom of how many children saw it describe the same thing. If that's really happened, there are so many different cryptids in this world that we haven't even heard of before, or that have never been seen even by anybody. I think that just about anything can creep out of the woods, out of the deep forests, come out of some portal from another dimension at any time, anywhere.
I'm going
to say, yay, there is something to this.
Whoa, Mike, in regards to Bat Squatch, yay or nay, no shades of gray, Mike says...
Yay.
All right. A little
excitedly.
A little more enthusiastically than...
yay.
But, man, I like your explanation there, Mike. I like your open-mindedness.
Yeah.
And trust me, everybody, Mike has given a nay to a topic or two that we have covered. So it's not like he gives the he doesn't take this lightly.
No, I don't,
folks. So I really like your argument there, Mike, about the idea of portals coming out of anywhere and anything that we can't even imagine.
Right. Well, and like Bigfoot has been seen even in North Dakota, where there isn't a lot of trees. I mean, there's a report where I have gone many times for my job. It's like, there's no way that a Bigfoot can, seclude himself into a deep wooded area because it's not there.
I think there's 12 trees in North Dakota. I mean,
oh, well, there are places.
No, I know I'm teasing, but I get your point.
Yeah. But, that's where the portal thing comes in. I mean, if there's no place for Bigfoot to hide, but yet there are reports of it being seen, I think that leads to more credence of a portal that it comes in and goes
as an interdimensional being.
Yeah.
When you think of the concept of interdimensional beings, that just opens up. Opens everything up so much. I mean, that's you're like, wow, how can I say no to anything? I mean, it's basically whatever you can imagine. Who's to say it's not out there somewhere?
Right.
But, no, man, I really want to say yay to Bat Squatch just because reading some of those accounts literally did give me the creeps a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just the author is a really good storyteller and the way she writes it just kind of hits you. It's like, oh, that's creepy.
Well, those people are out there.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that's what Linda Godfrey is.
Oh, exactly.
She's
right.
an awesome researcher. She does her due diligence 10 times over, if not more.
Get a hold of her. Get her on the show.
Oh, good idea. That's a great idea.
Absolutely. I'm sure there's some contact info there somewhere.
She does some fantastic work, that's for sure. Man, just because I have to choose, Mike, and I don't want to be a damn downer. I do not want to be a downer. I want to believe in this creepy son of a bitch.
Oh, I know. I agree.
But I have to give it I have to. That's the point of the last call. But man, I'm not shutting the door on it being a possibility. That's for certain.
And what is your explanation of the nay?
It's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
And because of the discrepancies. I mean, again, just because someone sees a Bigfoot doesn't mean that it's big or doesn't mean that it has big feet. I mean, they range in size. Human beings are range in size, for gosh sakes. Look at me and you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, when you think about it, Bigfoot is bizarre. The Loch Ness Monster is bizarre.
Absolutely.
You know, things that have been seen so many times.
I know.
But I mean, I know this goes a little bit beyond bizarre, but it's still, you know, like dog man, you know, which is we're hearing more about lately.
Yeah.
Very bizarre, but people swear they see him.
You know what kind of this kind of is similar to is Mothman. It seems like they're just in the physical descriptions.
There you go.
You know?
That's another one you can add to that. That's bizarre, but there's great storyline and
it is.
Some credibility there.
I don't know what you hit on your microphone, but I'm hearing a bunch of back noise or something's going on right now, Mike. So no, it's not that. Definitely not that. Okay, it went away. That was weird. I sincerely did get a lot of like weird sounds out of nowhere. That was interesting. Maybe a BATSQUATCH just flew over your house. Kind of.
I should pop on the EMF.
Yeah, that was interesting. It really did. It wasn't just on my end. That was. Well, I mean, it was on my end, but it was picked up on the recorder, so that's interesting. But well, at least it says it was on my Audacity software here. We shall see. We shall see if it was picked up. Well,
when
Mike,
it's played back, you will hear Ted's house.
Yeah, that's right. This is Ted Bundy, and
house.
You're an asshole. And I'm like, oh, get out of my house, Ted. Oh, by the way, I need to if you listen to our first portion of this episode, The Haunting of Ted Bundy, which went awesome. That was
it was fantastic.
Fantastic discovery. I want you to correct myself because we briefly talked about Ted's maybe potential first victim when Ted was only 14 years old and he murdered a neighbor. I said it was Lynette Culver. She was a victim of his. She was a 12-year-old victim of his later on in his murder spree. 12 years old. Anyways.
Yeah.
But the one that is still unsolved that people do believe that may be involved with Ted Bundy. Her name was Anne Marie Burr, and she was only 8 years old when she disappeared, and Ted is a prime suspect still to this day.
It's crazy.
No one will ever know. I wanted to clarify that. So,
yeah.
Well, Mike, this has been a blast. Again, thank you so much, buddy. Any parting shots for our paranormal pals this evening? What say you, Mike? What do our buddies out there in listening podcast world need to do?
Are we talking about the peace out thing?
Oh, you don't want to quit yet? Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no. Peace out, people.